So we're going to finish our Frankensteins. Last week we drew them. And today we're going to paint with watercolor. And if you notice, watercolors are awesome because they all can kind of blend together, and you can get a beautiful dark sky by mixing blues and purples and a little black. On this guy, I used some blues and some of the pinks. So I'm going to borrow Mr. Milo's because Milo was not here today. And we are going to use watercolors. So I'm going to open my watercolors up. And again, Frankenstein is a make-believe creature, and he's dead. So that's why we're going to paint him green. Because Wynn kind of doesn't have the best looking skin. So I'm going to use the tip of my paintbrush. And I'm going to paint him green. And I'm going to use the tip of my paintbrush. Notice how I'm holding my paintbrush tall and not sideways like this. You want to hold it tall. And I am going to paint my face, and I'm going to paint around his eyes. I don't want to paint his eyes. He's got great eyes. I'm going to paint his neck. I'm going to paint his hands. And that's what's going to be green. Now, as far as what you paint, whatever you want to paint his outfit, that's totally up to you. On this one, I gave him stripes. Same when you paint your girl, you can put any kind of design. You can paint it all one color or not. So when you're painting your Frankenstein girl, you don't have to do it pink. You could give her stripes. You could do all sorts of things. So when I paint mine, I'm going to use the black and paint my Frankenstein's hair black. Now, I'm painting two things right by each other, so you want to be really careful. Let's say I got a little bit of black. Oh no, I got a little bit of black in my face. I can use a Kleenex to kind of dab it. I'm going to give my Frankenstein a red suit. So again, you can use whatever colors you want. I'm going to give him some striped pants. Then, for the bottom, I'm going to use a couple of colors of green. There's a light green and a dark green. Every time I dip my paintbrush into my green, so before I can go back and get a new color, I gotta put it in my water, and I like to jiggle it around a couple times. Now I'm using a dark color green, and you can see where they kind of blend together. Jiggle that off. Gonna use just the tip of my paintbrush to give them some brown shoes. Then for my sky, you can use all sorts of colors. I'm gonna use some blue. I'm going to use some light blue. And it's okay if they blend together. We almost love it if they blend together. I'm going to use a little bit of this violet. And again, by using the tip, I can kind of get really close to my outside lines and then paint. Kind of creating a spooky night.
Good job, Mrs. Bogart. Yeah, good job. Good job.
Thank you. So again, we're just using blues and purples.
And violets.
And a little bit of violet. And letting them all blend together. Again, use that tip. Oh, and I've got to go back in here and I've got to paint right. Don't forget that little spot. Some of you don't have that spot. Right in between everything. When you're done, just let it sit on your table because it might be too wet to move.
Yeah.